You're very welcome into the House today, Minister. And I somehow think this falls between yourself and the Minister for Justice, Helen McEntee. So I want to wholeheartedly welcome this bill introduced by my friends in the Labour Party. Indeed, one could say that they beat me to it. I have personally targeted the issue it addresses as needing urgent legislative action. I was all too aware of the apparent gap or lacuna in the law that has been identified by the Data Protection Commission. The Commission was of the opinion that the requirements of the Law Enforcement Directive contained in Part 5 of the Data Protection Act 2018, that the processing of CCTV images of individuals by local authorities for the purposes of preventing, detection and prosecuting offences was not provided for adequately in the existing legislative framework. I have been involved in the installation and operation of CCTV, state-of-the-art, in Duleek and Ashbourne in my previous role as County Councillor or Meath County Council. They are a necessary and proportionate tool to be deployed in order to protect the public, to detect and prosecute offences. They are necessary to uphold the law and to obtain vital evidence to ensure that individuals that flout the law are brought to justice. I have been personally contacted by the litter wardens that are utterly exasperated by the absence of this vital tool to deal with the illegal dumping epidemic that is facing communities, both urban and rural, across the country. The phenomenon of dumping and littering is a blight on communities and on the environment. It is utterly ignorant and unacceptable in the 21st century Ireland and in any civilised society for that matter. At the moment, the only legislative provision which allows for the operation of CCTV systems is Section 38 of the Garda Síochána Act 2005. Under this provision, any CCTV system installed and operated by a local authority must go through an approved process involving the Joint Policing Committee and the Garda Commissioner. Regrettably, not enough local authorities are willing to seek authorisations for systems themselves. This is an issue that needs also to be addressed. City and county managers and executives are unwilling to step up and take responsibilities as data controllers. They have abandoned their communities and abdicated responsibility in this respect. The Minister for Justice allocated grants of 60% of the cost of community-based CCTV systems. Many communities nationwide have been frustrated by the lack of support that the chief executives of the local authorities gave to these projects. Part of the condition of securing these grants was that the chief executive and/or a designated officer would be the data controller of these systems. I have always made the argument that breaches of any law, environmental law included, should be policed by An Garda Síochána in conjunction with any other body charged with that legal responsibility. There are practical difficulties in making chief executives responsible for the data. Local authority offices are only open from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. District Garda stations, in contrast, are open 24/7. Any breach that is detected outside office hours, if the chief executives are the data controllers, can only be accessed during working hours. I'm simply pointing out the difficulties I have witnessed from communities and local authorities over the last number of years. It is important that this bill has the support of the CCMA. If it does not, then I regret that my Labour colleagues that are proposing the bill might be engaged in a futile endeavour. I do believe that the legislation needs to be broadened in a number of important respects. For one, we need to enhance the scope of the CCTV recording devices covered. As it stands, the bill will only allow for fixed and permanent CCTV systems. I am firmly of the view that this is too restrictive and does not give local authorities the tools they need to enforce the law. The definition should be expanded to include mobile camera systems and drones. I welcome the bill in principle. I look forward to the committee stage and the opportunity to work with my colleagues on the Labour panel in order to amend the legislation. Thank you, Minister.